Your network can either propel your business forward or grind it to a halt. CDW Solution Architects will keep traffic moving by designing intelligent HPE Aruba networks that simplify operations and deliver zero-trust defense. With automation at the center of your data center, workloads manage themselves, and yours gets lighter. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Snack festively with Planters Nuts. Multiple limited-time seasonal offerings. Planters Brittle Nut Medley, Holiday Nut Crunch, and Winter Spice Mix. Get them this holiday season at Walmart. Plus, open the magic of the holidays with a chance to win $1,000 for you and $1,000 for charity when you shop participating Planters brand products. Stock up and enter the sweepstakes. Tap now or visit walmart.com to find a location near you.
I'll be wearing my merch.
I will not have my merch
You'll
yet.
be wearing your wife beater and a coat.
Boy, that sounds uncomfortable. Just walking into a bar.
Hey! Touch those soda pops, slide them down, eh? Also, tonight, Roman Reigns. You heard him in the ad. The big dog. This is his yard. Mm-hmm. Taking on King Corbin.
Oh, boy. Question.
Uh-huh.
How long is this event?
Couple hours.
Are we going to be social media active tonight? Maybe tweeting out a video or two here and there, telling people to come on out and have a pop with us?
Nope.
You heard it here first, folks. Boy, one topic. The whole intro was about the big night out last week for us.
Boy, I listened back, to all my time markers. We didn't get to a whole lot last week, Steve. We were a bit hyper-focused on that night.
A bit distracted, yeah. We had a big, huge... I mean, it's rare for these two daddy-os to head out and, see the sights, see the bright lights of the big city.
Yeah.
But we did. We carved out a little time last week, and we made it happen.
For a good reason.
Well,
a wrestling show.
Good reason?
So let us.
We need to just jump right into this.
Yeah, let's briefly talk about it. I'm actually I'm a little bit surprised at how few items there are to talk about regarding the show. In terms of people watching and things I noticed at the show itself, it seemed relatively tame, and part of that is because we weren't in a large mass of people.
No.
The seats you got us, thank you again, were like first row in the stands, but quite a ways away from the floor seats where the groups of people would be. So really it was just the people kind of peppered in the seats around us in that section.
Yeah, to break it down, basically the event took place at a hockey arena. Mm-hmm. And if the ring was at one of the goal lines, we were at the opposite end, probably between what would have been the blue line and the goal line.
Yep.
Still great seats.
Oh, I loved them. Those were perfect. You could see everything you needed to see.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful. It was great. We got them through the radio station, so we didn't pay for them. Yeah. Everything was perfect about it. And so we made our way to our seats after spending way too much on one drink apiece.
Yeah, well, you said yours was a bit of a heavy pour.
It was, so I guess that could, that makes up for it. But even before that, made a stop at the old merch table.
Do you do that at a concert too? Now you've been to just by your job and everything else, you've been to many more concerts than I have been. Are you a merch guy?
No.
Are you? So you're not getting there a few minutes early so you can go check out the merch table before.
No, I used to be when I was younger, like high school, college age. If you go to a concert, you have to buy the shirt because you have to wear it the next day,
right?
So
to show that you were there,
so people will see, whoa, you went to see the Chili Peppers? That's awesome, man.
Because I have a little bit of respect and a lot of disdain for people who go and buy like the tour shirts.
Okay.
Because those are, on average, the ugliest shirts I've ever seen.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
It's just, I mean, think about buying a shirt that essentially half of it is a list.
Yeah.
You know? And the other half, you're immediately dating yourself because it has, so-and-so 2016. Well, okay, so, hey, you're wearing already a 3-year-old shirt or whatever for, hey, move on type of thing. I kind of respect it because it's a cool collection, right? So
yeah,
if you keep them or if you're planning on keeping them and showing them to whoever, hey, look at your dad was at Aerosmith 84 and here's this shirt to show that I was there. But again, disgusting, awful designs.
Yeah,
there's not one good tour shirt. Not one. Like there's never been one that looks good, Steve. I'll stand by it.
No, you're 100% right.
And I listen, I know it's early. I'll put it on the poll. Has there ever been a band tour T-shirt that looks good?
Yeah, and I think that the only reason that people still have them or still wear them is because they buy them. They buy like the retro style ones that inherently are cool now because they're retro.
Yeah, and I also think there is that section of the population, the dumb section. It's my town. I was there.
Well, when
I did that one.
Because in between matches, they got a guy that comes out into the ring and he announces, the next match scheduled for one fall. And but before he does that, he tries to hype buying a subscription to WWE Network.
Yeah.
Buying the T-shirt. And the crazy thing is, he's up there and he's holding up the T-shirt. He's like, and if you haven't gone up to the concourse and purchased this shirt yet, well, let me tell you what it includes. And it flashes up onto the big screen. It includes pictures of all the WWE superstars. But that's not it. On the back, there is a list of all of the dates that this show happens, including tonight in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And it gets a pop. And you see people getting up out of their seats like, oh, go get that.
So we're in that section of the population that desires that.
Yeah.
But in general, Steve, I think you can align that tour shirt with the overwhelming majority of wrestling shirts in that they're hideous.
Yeah, terrible. Okay? Bad luck.
It's very hard to find a design that doesn't scream, I wear camouflage cut-off shorts 10 months out of the year with my Crocs.
Yeah.
Okay? So, before we were able to go get our drink, we talked about this on the podcast, right, last week? What we were going to do?
Yeah.
Okay. And we never posted the video / picture, but they are there.
Yeah, I had totally forgotten about it until the other day you just randomly forwarded me the picture.
Right.
So what I'll do after we're done recording, by the time you're listening to this, just go to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Steve and Kyle. You'll be able to see the video of exactly what we did.
So we went to the merch table. We counted out just a general idea how many designs there were of just the shirts. Now, we weren't going to get you gloves. We weren't going to get you a headband. We wanted you to get you...
How much is the belt if I wanted one of those replica belts?
If you wanted a legit one, they're like $400.
Good Lord.
Yeah, and people, you see guys in their 40s and 50s
a bunch of people
laying over their shoulders.
Well, there was that guy that after the event, when we were walking to the car, there was a guy carrying a briefcase, like the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh yeah, they sell those as well
because that's one of their events throughout the year, right?
Yeah, and usually early summer they'll have a Money in the Bank, and you'll see idiots in the crowd waving around a briefcase with gold letters on it. Like, what? I mean,
these are stupid people, right? These are really stupid people. And how much is that?
Oh, I'm guessing $60, $80.
I think that if a T-shirt's $35,
take a look.
A Money in the Bank branded briefcase at the event, like I'm sure you can go on Amazon and get a knockoff one that says like Money in the Pank or something for half price.
Is that Money in the Dank?
Yeah.
It is on sale today, Steve. WWEshop.com. Today only.
Today only. Okay. What are we talking?
For $66.99.
So normally it's probably
$85.
Okay. I was going to say 80 or 90.
But at the event, it's all a little higher because that shirt you bought at the event. We'll talk about that in a second. But the shirt you bought is typically $27.99 on the online store.
And I paid $35.
$35. So obviously they're juicing it a little bit.
A little, yeah. That seems backwards, right?
So that briefcase, I'm guessing, cost $100.
Yeah.
And there was a grown man flailing it around like he's going to go hit his buddies in the back.
Yep.
You know?
By the way, did you, complete sidetrack, did you hear something that sounded like glass breaking about 5 minutes ago?
Did Stone Cold Steve Austin walk in?
No, because Annette sent me a text and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" She said, "There was a big crash and it sounded like glass breaking." And it sounded like it came from downstairs.
No. Huh.
I'm intrigued, though.
I'm very intrigued. Again, the only explanation would be the legend himself. When we started talking wrestling, Stone Cold Steve Austin has made his way into your basement.
Dun, 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 dun. He's currently on the northeast turnbuckle, chugging a beer,
slapping them together, just arm raised to the crowd.
Yep.
No,
okay.
Boy, that's good to know, though.
Hopefully by the end of this podcast,
this is the start of a horror story. We're a bat and a mask away. And we've got your nightmare.
The Stevel and Vile Horrificast. Our new merch up at StephenKyle.com/merch.
Yeah, and we will talk about that coming up here pretty shortly as well.
But we digress. So there we are. We had gotten into the arena. First of all, we went out. We tried to go to like 3 different places. Tried to go to the scene of the crime, the Quack Attack bar, and we didn't even walk in the door. We just kind of walked by. We opened the door and said, "Nope." Closed the door.
Yeah.
Kept going.
It's one of those where there's a crowded lobby.
Yeah.
And a crowded restaurant.
Yeah, I think there were a couple things going on. There was the WWE event. There were a couple different concerts at some of the local venues. Plus, it was a Saturday night or Friday night or Saturday night or whatever it was. So it was going to be busy regardless. So we ended up going to another place, had some dinner, drink or two, and then made our way to the event.
Mm-hmm.
Walked in, flashed our tickets, and we were in. Headed up the escalator. And what do they have right at the top of the escalator?
Right at the top.
Just directly at the top of the
escalator.
Waiting
for you is the merch stand.
Yes. So this is when I started to have regrets of the...
about the deal you made?
About the deal I made. Because as we pointed out, everything is awful looking. There's not a good piece of merch
to be seen. It's just so loud.
Everything,
it's very loud. There's noisy. We couldn't get over the one of this massive snake just wrapped around letters. It looked like Medusa. It was just so big. Everything else is, well, first of all, 98% of their shirts are black.
Yeah.
They're all black.
Which I'm fine with. I don't mind a black shirt. I'm not a guy who only wears black, but
right.
I don't mind if it, all right, whatever. Black shirt, no problem. I'd rather have black than teal or purple or, some other obnoxious bright color. So
we counted out just the general amount of T-shirt designs at the one booth. I'm sure there was another booth somewhere else, whatever.
I think we ended up with 10 or 12 that we put into the running.
Into the wheel, the prize wheel, if you will.
Yeah, so you just did a Google search for blank prize wheel or customizable prize wheel, and it came up with it just looks like a Wheel of Fortune wheel. It has a bunch of pie slices, and then what you do is you tell it how many slices you want. So we told it 10, and then on each line we entered Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, John Cena, Roman Reigns.
Yeah, all of them.
All the ones that were in the running.
Gave her a spin,
and now the deal that I made was whatever it stops on, I will go and buy that shirt.
Man, I had high hopes.
Me too.
I was so excited for one of the really dumb designs.
Yeah.
That you just have in the house.
Like you said, the Medusa, eating a fireball.
Because some of them you can, and I apologize, I know it's a little late. I apologize for my voice. I am sick. but some of them, you're going to come home and you could still wear them, whether it's, with some pajama bottoms or, you're outside working on the Jeep in the sun, whatever, right? But some of them, you're going to want to throw in the garbage from second number one. And that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Yeah. I was planning on, I was assuming I was going to put on a shirt just to get a picture, and then I was going to take the shirt off and throw it off the balcony of the arena.
Like they do at the games. Launch it out of a cannon to a lucky fan.
Yeah, only I was just going to throw it. I was going to aim for a dumpster below and hope that it would go right in there.
And if a child or young adult caught it, great.
So be it.
So the wheel came up, Steve, and you were, in my estimation, I think you got probably the luckiest draw.
Probably. I think that I was both relieved and disappointed. I was relieved because I thought, okay, this shirt's not the worst.
Right.
But I was also disappointed because I kind of wanted it to be the worst because it would have been a funnier...
Would have been funny.
Funnier,
see you walking down the stairs
visual.
In like a Medusa green snake shirt. Right?
But who did I get?
You were... And I say this because, and I'm serious, if it weren't a black shirt, I would have already had the shirt you got.
Okay.
And you got the Seth Rollins Burn It Down t-shirt.
Okay. I don't even remember what it looks like, honestly.
Yeah, and it's got like a digital graphic of a flame on it. Let me pull up the picture. Yeah, with his logo below it. And then on the back, I think it says Burn It Down.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm looking at the picture right now of you with a very dejected face, looking down and off to the side, questioning why you're here and why you're doing this.
Yeah. Wait, is this the... Hold on. Look up at the... Is that the shirt that I got?
That's the shirt, Steve.
Oh, good. I'm glad that it was listed on another site that I'm looking at right now for $12. But no, I paid 3 times that. Paid $35 for that.
Now, you were in
shirt.
luck because with $35, the tax was included.
Oh, boy, yeah.
With that $12, you're looking at another, 70-some cents.
Sure, yeah.
So...
Real bargain.
Really, you made out on that deal. So yeah, you lived up to the...
Yeah, of course. I can't
what
make
you
that,
said.
Can't make that deal and then not follow through.
And you slapped it on over the shirt you had, and you wore it the remainder of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Now...
Looked good, too. Looked real good.
I feel the need to say, because I've been to a handful of these shows, Steve, a handful of these house shows, and I've been to a handful of like the TV shows that they tape.
Yeah.
This was far and away the biggest letdown I've ever been to.
Look, I really didn't know what to expect going into it because I mean I had been to a Ring of Honor event
recently,
within the last 6 months, and that was fun. I enjoyed it. But I think that one was being taped for TV.
Yep, they usually do that. And
so it kind of it's very similar to how it is when you watch it on TV. Mm-hmm. I'm sure there are some edits made to, get it to the right length and everything. But man, this one, the WWE event, it was not being taped. It was not for TV. It was what they refer to as a house show, simply for the people in the crowd. And the pacing sure is different.
Yeah.
Like, why does it take 6 minutes for an intro to play and a guy to get to the ring before the next intro plays and the other guy makes it to the ring?
Yeah, and they do it, where all the big superstars, after they typically win their match, because kids aren't going to these house shows to see the good guys lose. Mm-hmm. They'll get out of the ring. And it's a nice gesture. They'll walk around the ringside and high five, take pictures, sign autographs. So a lot of these, leaving after a match is over takes way too long. Way too long.
Yeah.
But my problem wasn't with that. My problem, Steve, and I should have anticipated this a little bit. They had one of their top 3 or 4 pay-per-views of the year the following night in Chicago. Mm-hmm. My guess is, if not a directive, it's a general idea that the night before one of the biggest pay-per-views in the company's year, you take it kind of easy at the house show just so, make sure nothing happens to their big stars and they don't get injured.
Sure.
And boy, was that ever on full display in our main event of the evening.
Oh, yeah. This is the one thing. As soon as we walked in, we're walking to our seats, and I look up into the rafters, and I see there's a steel cage.
Yeah.
There's a steel cage hanging from that ceiling.
Cage match, man.
Carnage
about to ensue.
We are going to see something that few have ever seen.
Someone's fallen off the top of that thing, okay?
Someone's at least fallen off the top of that and going through the ring, because I've seen that before. I saw The Undertaker fall through the ring.
At minimum. We got none of that.
No.
And what we definitely got was the two guys in one of the top 2 matches the following night, taking it real slow and easy.
Yeah.
So we got about a 6-minute match of the Billy Goat, your friend.
Oh, yeah. The old
Your
Billy
old buddy.
Goat. My old buddy. Interviewed him hundreds of times.
I
checked that one time.
Kind of fake, trying to get over the top of the cage.
Yeah, it sure looked like it. Because he was over the top, and then he decided, like, oh, no, I forgot my watch. I better go back in and get it.
Get pulled down, and then get pinned.
Yeah.
In about 6 minutes.
Yeah, pinned. Like, I know that they say it can end by pin, by submission, or by getting out of the cage. But you don't really expect that it's going to end
in a pin.
In a pin.
Why would you?
And has it always been that they can just walk out the door of the cage?
Yes.
I always thought that they had to climb. It kind of makes the point of the cage irrelevant if you can just walk out a door.
Yeah, I have no idea. The pin submission thing's stupid. You should have to escape from the cage.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole point of it. Otherwise, why are they even in a cage if you can simply walk out the door and win, or you can be pinned like a regular match in it? Whatever.
Exactly.
So really, for my estimation, the night and its matches were not very good.
No.
They were slow. They were not very intensive. There was no real match. Is there anything that stood out to you about any match? Was there one match that you go, hey, that was impressive, or hey, that was good work?
No.
Because with me, there wasn't. And I usually, and I go to these things now because I enjoy seeing, I really do. I enjoy seeing good wrestling. It is a bit of an art form to be able to do these things and make them look good and professional. Like, I can go out back and, try to do a flip on a trampoline. It's going to look ridiculous. So these people have perfected that. And that's what I like to see. There's none of that to be found.
There definitely was not. All in all, still had a good time. Still enjoyed the evening.
Yeah, I did.
And was home in bed at a reasonable hour. And that's all that matters to me.
I walked across the street.
Oh, yeah, you went to the country show.
Continued my night out.
How late you stay out, Daddy-O?
Country show. Oh, man, I don't think we got home till about 12.
Daddy-O.
Awful.
Didn't like it?
Paid for it. For
the show was no good?
Oh, the show was fine. I saw 5 songs.
Yeah.
Because I showed up so late.
Yeah.
I double booked myself, as a lot of people say.
Sure.
But the one thing, Steve, that I wanted to mention about this wrestling show is that there's now been 2 television incarnations of The Odd Couple. Okay? There was the original back in the 70s, I think. And then they tried it again with, I think, Matthew Perry and Thomas Lennon or something like that. None of them can hold a candle to The Odd Couple we had seated 1 row behind us.
Oh, my God.
And to the left of us.
I totally forgot about them. Totally forgot about them.
Because what we had was a super fan and someone who had no idea where they were. And when I say that, I don't mean, a boyfriend who dragged his girlfriend and she's just there to be a part. This would be the other way around.
Girlfriend who dragged her boyfriend / maybe father / maybe grandfather. I mean, there was such an age discrepancy, but when I say father or grandfather, I mean father or grandfather age. Because they were definitely a couple.
Together.
They were definitely a romantic couple.
This was a larger woman who, sitting in the seat, was so excitable
like bouncing the whole time. Whenever intro music would play, you turn around and she's like, yes, it's so-and-so.
Yeah.
It's Braun Strowman.
And she would, like, she wasn't even sitting straight. She was in the seat, and then her entire body was shifted to the left towards the ring.
She was the epitome of the we'll sell you the whole seat, but you'll only need the edge. I mean, it's like this guy could have sat in the seat behind her.
Yeah.
She was so far off the seat.
So she was leaning into the back of into this guy the whole night and just screaming at every bad guy.
Everything it was like she was trying to explain to him everything that was happening. So whenever there's a big move, a big pin, or somebody does their signature move, she turns it. That's the blah 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 move.
And this guy was probably to the point where he needed to be told a couple of times. He was a bit old.
Yeah,
he was in his, I would estimate, mid to late 60s. Maybe 70s.
I think that's being generous. He looked just like, is it Sam Elliott?
Yeah, no, that's the exact
Sam
description.
Elliott,
yeah,
the white mustache, the white hair. It was so odd that was more entertaining than the matches. So I kind of sat half turned in my seat, because anytime something happened, I quickly turned my head because I wanted to see what their reaction would be.
She was so like popcorn flying everywhere.
She was a cartoon.
She really was. And again, the size difference alone, I don't care. You like who you like.
Sure.
That's not why I'm
yeah,
saying this. I just thought it was funny because you have wrestling diehard with a woman in her, 30s, 40s? You can't,
probably,
I couldn't really
I would
tell.
say 30s probably.
Who is just into everything. A large woman. And then this rail-thin old man who clearly wants nothing more than to make this woman happy. Yep. Otherwise, why would he go to this event?
That right there. Okay, if you're out there listening to this podcast and you're a single man or a single woman and you feel like all hope is lost and you're never going to find somebody, that right there is proof positive that there is someone out there for everyone in this world.
Yeah, if you're single, you're doing it wrong.
You are.
Okay? I don't want to make you feel bad if you're just at home alone during this holiday season wondering why you can't find love, because you're doing it wrong. That's the only way to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, suck it.
Go to
a wrestling event, pay too much for a shirt, pay $40 for a beer, and find the woman or man of your dreams.
Steve found his love on a game show.
I know, exactly.
This man's at a wrestling program.
Mm-hmm.
You're all doing it wrong, dummies.
Sure, that'll make a lot of single people feel a lot better.
And just kidding.
Heading into the holiday season.
For crying out loud. Oh, God.
So we have to talk about something else that occurred just the other day.
Well, this wasn't our only adventure of the week, Steve.
No, it wasn't.
It's a pretty rare... I wouldn't say it's a pretty rare occasion. But typically we won't see each other 3 times a week.
Yeah.
We'll see each other 1, sometimes 2 if we're going to do something.
Yeah, typically we record on either Saturday or Sunday morning, and then it's not out of the question for later in the week, hey, we're going out to grab a drink, or we're grabbing a couple slices of pizza. You want to meet us up?
Sure.
Meet up with us. Yep, no problem. So this week, we said let's see, in the last week we recorded on a Saturday.
Went to the event Saturday night.
The event Saturday night, and then Wednesday, you would send a text earlier in the afternoon saying, "Hey, we're going to go out and just grab some food with your parents."
Yeah,
and it's something I think we've met up with you guys on day before Thanksgiving, like the last 2 years or so.
Yep,
we've met up, had a drink or two, some food, but this year it wasn't going to work because we had on Wednesday after I got out of work, I had to meet Annette at the pediatrician because Evelyn had her 2-month shots.
Mm-hmm.
And
always a big moment.
This was, I don't know, because a lot of people said it when I told them, like, yeah, we have to get our shots today. Oh, 2-month shots, and then people would be like, oh yeah, Yeah, she's probably going to be a little cranky the rest of the day.
Oh, yeah.
But, every single person undersold it because it ended up, we got to the pediatrician, and I always feel bad being there because they're always like, okay, strip them down to just their diaper, a clean diaper, so they can weigh them. And thank God she has gained a bunch of weight, and everything is great. She is healthy. She is happy. And so we got a nice, healthy baby on our hands. So that, above all, is the most important thing. But then she had to get her, 3 different shots.
Yeah, do they do it with 2 nurses, so they do the 2 at the same time and then another?
No.
Huh.
This one was just one nurse, and us kind of holding Evelyn, which already feels terrible. But before that, the doctor came in and he did his exam of her, so he's checking her heartbeat and doing that thing where he grabs her legs and does like the little bicycle pedaling and
movement. Yeah.
Exactly, just going over everything. And he's like, she looks great. She's very healthy. I'm very happy with her development, with her weight gain and all of that. But the whole time she's laying there on that counter with the little paper, the paper spread across it, just screaming. I mean, bloody murder, screaming. And the worst part was, because for the most part she was just looking straight up and screaming, but at one point she turned her head and made eye contact with Annette and I and just screamed as if she was saying, Mom,
you've
Dad,
done this.
What are you doing? And this wasn't even the point where she had gotten the shots yet. So then doctor leaves. He said, okay, the nurse will be right back in to do the shots. She came back in and she said, I know she's crying loud now, but you ain't seen nothing yet. She's about to step it up a bit.
Oh.
And she said, the nurse was very sweet, and she said to us, she's like, she's going to cry. It's okay if you guys cry. It happened. It's
normal.
It's terrible for them. They're a little baby and they don't want shots. Obviously, nobody does.
There's simply no way to do this.
Nope.
Other than the way it's done, which is we have to put a needle into your baby.
Yeah. So they had to do 2 in the left leg, 1 in the right leg, and that nurse was not lying because Evelyn doubled down, hit a new gear and just wailed and continued to do that for the next 25 minutes. Long after the shots were done, and so it was about time for her to eat. So the nurse said, "You guys can hang out in here as long as you want. If you want to try and nurse, no problem." Well, she was not having any of it, and that tried for 10 minutes. She just wouldn't do it. She was too worked up. So we scoop her up, put her in the car seat. I loaded her up in the car, and then we had driven there separately because I had to go to a doctor's appointment. So I said to Annette, I was like, sorry I got to leave you, but good luck. So she was going to take her home and feed her. Well, I got a text from Annette 1 minute later. She's already passed out in the car. Yeah,
I mean, for as much as people say, and again, I've done this once, so it's not like I'm an expert, but as much as people say, oh man, scream and scream, they do have, a proverbial gas tank. And you're surprised at how much can actually go into it.
Right.
But eventually, whether it's the way they're sitting, it's in a car seat, or being held in an arm, whatever, or rocked, it does run out.
Yeah.
It's just an awful time while you're waiting for that gas tank to run out.
So luckily, the tank ran out. She was asleep. I was gone for at least another hour at my appointment. I came back. She was still... Annette had brought her in the house, set her on the kitchen counter in the car seat. She was still in there when I got home.
Oh, wow.
Still bundled up.
That's traumatic.
Snoozing. And, all right, we're just going to let her be. But the problem was she had then slept through her feeding, so we knew that when she woke up, she was just going to be a nightmare. And that was true. She woke up wailing, so pissed.
Wake up, probably the pain's back in the legs where
back.
The shots were.
She's hungry. So, okay. All right, here we go again. So we were kind of anticipating that it wasn't going to be the easiest night, so that's why we had politely declined your invitation.
Totally get it.
So neither of us felt like cooking or anything. So we just said, all right, I'm going to run out and grab something. I'm going to stop at the gym for about a half hour, get a little exercise in, I'll pick up food and come back. Well, 5 minutes after I left the house, I got a text from Annette saying, I Power's out. I'm like, oh, crap. Because we had bad windstorms blowing through the area. So I said, all right, do you want me to come back? No, it's fine. We're just sitting here by candlelight. Okay. So
It's like the revolution.
yeah.
Me and my baby.
So I go to the gym, I do my thing, and pick up the food on the way back, get home, power's still out.
Oh, man.
Oh, crap. So
Bad sign, right?
It's been out for an hour and a half at this point. And, I mean, it's not freezing cold in the house by any means. For me and Annette, perfectly fine. But, you know, you can't – when a baby's sleeping, you can't bundle them up in blankets or anything. It's just them in a onesie or the sleep sack or whatever.
And honestly, you were probably able to last a little longer than normal, just because we had for a while. It's been a little bit unseasonably warm, and and I don't mean warm, saying
right, just
put on
warmer,
the sunglasses,
a couple
and
degrees
shorts.
warmer.
Right, we're in the 40s, but it's still not warm.
We turned on the fireplace. That does a little bit, but that's I mean. It's a gas fireplace. It's more for looks than anything. It doesn't really give off a lot of heat.
Right, I don't think it's meant for hey, keep the house warm.
So whenever the power goes out, there are 3 people that I send texts to. It's you, Cy Nolan Ryan Young, and my buddy Joe, because we all live within about a 3 to 4 mile radius. And for like the 10th time, I sent the text saying, hey, do you have power? And everyone else, yep. But us, no. So we've learned that we live in a spot that must be very susceptible to power outages.
Yeah, this has happened before.
This is like, since we've moved in, I bet we lost power a dozen times. A handful of times for more than a few hours, which is not cool. So you your wife very graciously grabbed your phone and offered for us to come to your house.
Yeah, listen, I wanted no part of it. I told her just ignore it, act like we fell asleep. We'll text back in the morning and say, hope everything's okay.
Yeah. So I got a text from your number. It said, if you guys need to, you can come over to Stay Warm for Evelyn. This is Katie. He told me to specify that it was me, so you wouldn't think he is too nice. I replied, I've known Kyle nearly 10 years. He's never done a nice thing. Trust me, I know. So we were going to ride it out for a couple hours to see if maybe the power came back on, but it got to be about 8:30, 9 o'clock, and I sent you a text. I was like, hey, man, power's not back on yet.
Well past her bedtime, too.
Yeah.
Like, normally you'd have
she's
in her crib by that point,
typically,
I'm guessing,
well,
right?
typically she'd be asleep, but downstairs with us, like in her in a little boppy or her little rocker or something, and then around 10 o'clock, we would normally take her upstairs, and that would feed her one more time, and she'd go to bed. So yeah, she's still wide awake, which is a problem because she's still one feeding behind. So yeah, you said the offer's still there. We made our way up. We dropped off the dogs at the dog sitter a day early, made it over to your house, and then you were treated to a symphony of screaming. For an hour or so? We sat in your living room.
Well, here's the thing, Steve, and here's what. It's so easy to forget for me because, and I guarantee you, we were the same way when Reed was that age, and he'd be somewhere and it would have, a fit or would be uncomfortable or whatever. You always think you're, being this massive imposition and oh my God.
Well, because I think of how I react.
Sure.
When I hear a screaming kid that's not mine, I'm like, oh, God, come on. Jeez, terrible parents. Shut that kid up.
Right.
Just tell it to stop.
I mean, we talked about our experience on the airplane on our way back from Washington, D.C., where Reed just let it loose. And it is, in your mind, the worst thing possible, right?
Yeah.
But in actuality, it's not that big of a deal.
No.
And
no, I'm just very self-conscious about it.
Oh, sure. And we tried to make you understand, we tried to let you know that, hey, this isn't a big deal. Reed didn't move 1 inch from his spot in his crib.
Yeah.
He was already asleep. So, and I don't even think it was an hour. I think you're overshooting it by a little bit of how long she screamed because she was fascinated with a movie on Netflix that was on, and she was fine.
Terrible movie, by the way. Just a terrible movie.
Hang on a second. What?
That was, what was it called?
Stop the show.
Was it called? It
was called, Steve.
Was it called Knockoff of the Santa Claus?
Okay, here we go. First of all, this wasn't a replacement Santa. It was the original Santa, and it was called, Steve, The Christmas Chronicles. Okay? With Kurt Russell.
Boy,
One of the most handsome old men on the planet.
Hell? Why does Kurt Russell need to do that?
Listen, he probably read that script and thought like I thought.
This is dog.
This is a winner.
It was just terrible from top to bottom, start to finish.
Man, oh man, I can't wait for Evelyn to start enjoying holiday classics, and you point out how dumb they all are.
Oh, it's just, I mean, come on.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sure this Angel. Yeah, really.
Oh, It's a Wonderful Life. My daughter will never watch that garbage.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You are anti It's a Wonderful Life.
It's stupid.
I had no idea.
Mary, you want me to throw a lasso around the moon? I'll bring it down for you. Yeah.
I did not know. I was
right
in
movie,
the room.
by the way? Is
yeah.
that right? Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if that was It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on whatever street.
I did not know I was in the room with a certified grade A Grinch. In terms of holiday
love Christmas movies.
What?
I love
movie
good
do
Christmas
you like?
movies.
What Christmas movie
Alone.
do you like? Home Alone. Okay.
What's wrong with Home Alone?
Nothing's wrong with Home Alone. I have everything wrong with Home Alone too, and I'll
Well, yeah, I mean, come on, we all
we'll talk
do.
about that another day.
Will we?
I'll have to repost my Twitter thread. I did. I stand by everything I said in it, where I rewatched Home Alone 2, so you don't have to. But where do you stand on, the Santa Claus with Tim Allen?
I love it. Love
So
it.
you're okay
I love Elf.
with knockoff Santa there? The elf
Absolutely.
being able to. Okay, good,
Absolutely.
Good.
This
what
one,
other ones do I watch?
I didn't like the CGI elves. That was they looked like Furbies, and that was
Listen, the elves were terrifying.
just awful.
There's no question about
But
that.
there's such a pivotal part in the whole tale.
Right. Let me now. We have a laundry list of Christmas movies that we watch, and this is a total digression. So let me give you a very quick run. And you already mentioned Elf's one of them. You watch. You enjoy Elf.
Love it.
Enjoy the Santa Claus. You're pro Santa Claus.
Yeah. Home Alone.
Home Alone. Where do you stand on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation?
Oh, of course, it's a
Okay.
absolute gem.
You know,
I mean that could be. Those four right there could be the Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies.
Oh, wow. Do we have a list to talk about next week? A-Bit, baby. Next week, Steve and Kyle, the Mount Rushmore of Christmas movies.
Okay.
Get it ready, because that's what we're going to be doing on the A-Bit. I can't wait
What
to
we
see
just
these.
did, that's mine.
Forget what Steve said.
I am done.
Forget what Steve said.
Bring yours next week.
No, you need to take a deep dive. You need to read some theses, thesi.
Thesis-I?
Thesisi.
Uh-huh.
On Christmas movies and why they're good or why they're bad. And I need you to come back with a definitive 1 through 4, Steve.
Okay.
For the Mount Rushmore. We'll do that next
Do
week.
I have to associate like Home Alone as Washington?
No.
Okay.
I don't even know how they lay out on that
No,
on the mountain
no
either.
idea.
Is that the only thing to go see? It's South Dakota, right?
It is.
Is that the only thing to see there?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm confident saying that.
Hard to argue.
I mean, I can't think of anything else.
No, I can't. I'm actually racking my brain about what else there could And you know what? Don't send me your pictures of your stupid hikes. Those sound terrible.
Look at this. Look at that boulder formation.
There was this rock in the middle of another desert or another field, and I climbed it. This is beautiful. No, it's not. Shut up. Okay?
You
Go
just say
vacation.
that because you live there and there's nothing else.
Go vacation like a normal person.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mix
Go
in
to
a-
one of the coasts.
Mix in a lake or something.
Go to an ocean. Go to a lake. Rent a boat. God's sake, stop climbing rocks, you
I don't know why
losers.
we're attacking South Dakota. By all accounts, a beautiful place.
I should check the gift list. Make sure we don't have any South Dakotans.
If so, we'll edit right here.
Yeah, I don't feel bad. So yeah, Evelyn was still cranky, still having some issues. You guys were trying to feed her.
Just wailing.
She was, you get to that point where a baby's so worked up that it doesn't matter that she's hungry. She just wants to cry.
Yeah.
Hunger be damned. Right now, I'm too worked up to even eat. I'm not going to address the bottle that's being stuck in my face.
She's going to cry until she passes out.
Yep.
So eventually we got her to eat a little bit, and then we decided to call it a night. And we went downstairs because you had a nice room set up downstairs for us, little guest room.
Yep.
And first thing you said was, "Hey, there's a heated blanket or a heated mattress cover."
Yep.
So I was like, hell, I love sleeping. I love being warm. So I cranked that thing all the way up. And
Now, so you don't have one of those here?
We don't.
You don't? Okay.
No, we don't.
So that's a quick adjustment.
It sure, yeah. Because I woke up in the middle of the night just sweating profusely. Why am I so hot? Oh, that's right. This mattress has power.
Now, do you have seat warmers in either of your cars?
Yeah.
And does it have like 1, 2, and 3?
No, both of ours just have high and low.
Okay. Now, Katie's truck has 3, 2, 1. Mm-hmm. And if you put that thing on 3...
you could, fry an egg on it.
I don't know how people would sit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And that's ridiculous, too. Hers has high and low.
Yeah.
Low is 99% of the time. It is 100% appropriate. And but if you put... I put it on high yesterday when we were driving back from... the family Thanksgiving trip.
Yeah.
And I was like, it felt good because my back was a little bit sore. So it was kind of like a heating pad on it. But even then, the other parts of my back that weren't sore, I think have 3rd-degree burns.
God. So other than that, though.
We got downstairs, tried to feed her again, tried to put her in the bassinet, and then she just wailed again for another 20 minutes. To the point where I nearly sent you a text saying, thanks, but we got to get out of here. Because I was very self-conscious. I didn't want you guys being kept awake. I knew Katie had to work in the morning.
Well, let me recap it to you. Didn't hear anything. Okay. And fell asleep in about 5 minutes.
Okay.
So
you have some good insulation then.
Yeah, we must. I mean, I heard a little bit right when you got down there, but it didn't sound like 15 minutes to me, and it didn't affect me going to sleep or not. The only thing it affected was the wiener dog being incredibly concerned for your guys' well-being.
I appreciate that.
He was very curious on if you guys were okay and wanted to come down and visit. He was laying on the steps, staring at the door. Initially, I had to follow you guys downstairs when you went down there to carry him back up because apparently he was going to stay with you guys night.
That would have been great. I would have been more than happy to have that
He's
dog.
Very demanding. Very demanding. And, fret not. You are nothing. You are not an imposition at all. And it was not prohibitive at all in terms of us falling asleep. It was all fine.
Appreciate that. So we woke up Thursday morning, probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we packed it up. I had looked at my phone. I had gotten the text at 1:11 in the morning saying our power had come back on. So we made our way back to the house. And baby was still a bit cranky.
Yeah.
And proceeded to be cranky the entire day Thursday. And even a little bit into Friday morning. And then her last real meltdown was Friday morning around 8 a.m. And she was finally able to snap out of it. Most of our Thanksgiving Day, because we spent Thanksgiving Day at a hotel with a bunch of Annette's family, like 25 or 30 people. And we had the whole conference room. They had just rented it out for 2 days. We were a little nervous going into it, thinking all right, how's this going to be? It's the first time we've done anything like that.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah.
With a baby gone.
Yeah.
You have your bag, you have what you
need. Out of her normal routine. It ended up being great. The only problem is we probably spent half of Thanksgiving Day back up in the room just because she was really, really not having a great time. If she was not asleep, she was screaming. And finally got her to calm down. But, we were upstairs, which, pretty typical for us. But we were upstairs in our bedroom, or in our room in the hotel, in bed at 8:30 on Thanksgiving because we couldn't do anything. We're not, because Annette a few times said, like, just go back downstairs. I'm like, no, I'm not going to go back downstairs and just leave you up here to deal with this.
It's her family, not yours.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to talk to them.
God, I use the same thing.
But yeah, so it ended up working out all right. But thank you again for the hospitality. Or thank your wife again for the hospitality.
Not a problem. I'll pass it on.
I know that it was not your decision one bit.
Wasn't involved in the process.
No.
Even a little bit.
Nope.
Was overridden when I told her again to ignore it.
You would have been happy sitting there by yourself watching terrible Christmas movies.
Okay.
Listen. But instead,
there is some nostalgia and charm about the Christmas Chronicles that you are just not seeing. And maybe it was your baby who was upset, ruining it for you.
I didn't like his leather cloak. I didn't like his like motorcycle leather gloves. What is that?
Listen, leather's warm. And, where Santa's going, it's going to be cold. Okay?
No.
There is a certain charm about the Christmas Chronicles that you're missing.
Which is?
That I hope you can somehow see in years to come when Evelyn wants to watch it. When Annette asks you to put it back on.
No. I'm going to say, sorry, darling. We don't get that channel. We don't get the crappy channel.
We don't get the Netflix?
Nope. Nope, we canceled that.
Now, did you end up buying the Disney Plus, Steve?
Annette had signed up for the 1 week free trial, and then I realized about 5 minutes before you get here that we hadn't canceled it.
Oh, so we got another week.
So we got another month. We paid the $6.99 for. We have it until December 30th.
You got to watch their Christmas movie that they launched with. It's called Noel. Mm-hmm. It's got Anna Kendrick.
Okay.
Bill Hader.
All right, I like them.
Charming. Now, it is a Disney movie. I hope it doesn't offend Steve's adult sensibilities with too much leather or off-looking elves.
CGI elves. Look,
I didn't know I was dealing...
Those are both key points in this movie.
But no, I'd be curious if you guys maybe make some hot chocolate.
Okay.
Sit down and watch Noel. It is a Disney movie, Disney Christmas movie. So, there's not going to be any of your, your standard movies that you like, with cars and, bikini-clad women. And
yep. That's what I watch.
The Steve tropes, if you will, regarding movies.
So horror movies are bats, masks, and things that go bump in the night.
Yep, spookers. Yep.
And Steve movies are trucks, bikini-clad women, and what else? What's the third?
I got to get you a third. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get you a third.
Like muscles.
Trucks, bikini-clad women. Boy, what is the third thing that Steve? Yeah.
Brewskis.
Tools. just a tool set.
Like every scene, the camera pans over and you see a big red Snap-on toolbox.
Like Annette can't finish a movie without you pausing it and going, "Is that a Craftsman double high?" Like a chest on top of the standard set. Oh God, that's beautiful.
Oh, nice.
I think it's got uniform locks on the top and the bottom as well.
That thing needs more power.
That's it. That's the Steve movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how you describe those. Not even action movies, because there's a bunch of wrenches in there now.
Yeah. Yep.
So stupid. So yeah, you were obviously that offer always stands, Steve. If you guys need, if you need shelter when this house inevitably starts, I don't know, having another random meltdown, like sinking into a sinkhole.
Well, let me tell you that that power outage.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a reason that I'm going to get a backup generator.
It's time. The conversation is being had again. Now, let me ask you. This happened Wednesday. So it's been a whirlwind for you.
Yeah.
Because between your Wednesday where you went to work, you left work, you ended up going to the doctor's appointment, like you talked about, and then you ended up at our house and then down down an hour south for 2 days. You got home last night, and now this morning you're doing this. It's been a whirlwind for you.
Yeah.
Busy, things on both of your minds. How many times has the generator been brought up in these not quite 72 hours?
A handful.
You've talked about it?
Yeah.
Now, are you back on the train of full home backup generator that we talked about earlier this year?
I don't think so. I don't think that
this was going to be a thousands of dollars purchase and renovation,
$6,000,
right?
$7,000.
They were going to have to cut holes in your house and stuff, right?
Yeah, they would have had to
run it.
Yeah, big power wires would have had to be run in. I would have had to hire an electrician to do all the wiring.
But it would have been just like a hospital, where if the power goes out within a couple of seconds, this thing would have kicked on and you'd be fully powered.
Runs off of natural gas. Mm-hmm. That I don't think that's going to happen.
But you're back in the market then for a smaller one that you can, you'd have to hook up on the front porch or whatever and give it a couple pulls.
Yep.
Plug in the main things you need plugged in, right?
Yeah. And a coworker of mine has a generator that he bought, and I'm not really sure why, but for whatever reason he bought it, didn't use it, and is going to return it. So I may just buy it off of him. It's
a few bucks off the top.
Yeah, it's $500 generator maybe, but it would be enough to power the essentials. Like we'd have a couple lights, couple outlets, refrigerator, so all the stuff in the fridge won't go bad.
Right. In the winter, maybe a portable heater. Bring you the...
yeah, well, no, it would be able to do the furnace.
Oh, it would?
Yeah.
Okay.
So...
You have to put gas in it every...
Yeah, exactly.
12
couple
hours?
Yeah,
okay.
I don't know. I'm not really sure.
Now let me ask you this.
We just have to put in... I would still have to hire an electrician to install... I think it's called a transfer switch.
So the power would transfer to...
Yeah,
okay.
so it would be like a little sub-panel off of our panel. So if the power goes out, I got to go outside, pull the generator out, plug in a big old cord to the outlet, start it up, and then go down to the basement, flip the transfer switch, and then the power to those dedicated circuits comes back on.
Do you and Annette, do you buy each other Christmas presents? Do you?
Not really.
So you
don't? Yeah, we're, we may buy each other something small, but for the most part, every year we're just like, no, we don't need anything. And what we'll do is instead of buying each other a Christmas gift, we'll say, well, why don't we, go away for the weekend and go up to like Traverse City or something, which is a couple hours north of here. Beautiful little town. Or we'll plan like, okay, well, let's just put that money aside and then we'll use it next year if we go on vacation.
Okay.
We're not really things people.
Would this be maybe something that you'll bring up and maybe this will be a...
Tell you what, I'll buy you a transfer switch if you pay for the electrician to install it.
Romance.
My hero.
So this is something that are you looking at...
This is happening, man.
Quickly? This is going to be an end of the week thing?
No, probably not end of the week. I'm sure that after we talk about it here, I'll completely forget about it until the next time the power goes out in February.
Right. Okay.
When we're plunged into darkness once again.
I mean, at this point, the egg's on my face. When this happened back in, what was it, May?
Yeah, you were predicting.
May or June?
You were predicting we would have full-on backup generator installed.
Well, and I believe I was in the camp of, don't worry about it. It happens so infrequently. Why worry about it? And here we are, second time in, half a year, which, again, it's not like that's frequent. It's not like you're worrying every day about coming home to a power outage. But still,
I bet
with a little one at home, it is a concern, right?
In the 2 years we've been here, I bet we've lost power a dozen times. And it's weird because when we were first looking at the house, I remember driving through the neighborhood and thinking, oh, that's really cool. All the power lines are all underground. That's really nice. So we're never going to lose power. But anywhere that doesn't have underground lines a little further down the line, it makes us just as susceptible. So power's out. That sucks. So what else can I do?
Right.
I want to be the envy of the Zach. I want to be the guy who goes outside in pitch blackness. Everyone else is, you can see them like with their little iPhone flashlights going through the house. Not me. Not Steve. Steve's got the nice hum of a generator. Sitting inside. So warm. Oh, maybe. Yeah, that's a good idea, Nat. Let's make some hot cocoa in the microwave that still works.
Sure.
Oh, that's nice. So, yeah. Be the envy of the Zach.
So this is going to happen, and then no doubt you'll send out a newsletter to the other members of the Zach with the newest update. Hey, guys, power's out again. Mosey on over to, such and such house number.
No, they're not getting invited.
Oh, come on.
No. That's where I draw the line. You're not using my heat. I mean, maybe if you have, like, an infant.
So your desire to become, the friendly neighbor, you, quite enough to share your home.
No.
Even with...
Keep those losers out of here. You get a pile of leaves and burn it in your living room. That'll keep you warm.
That's right, folks. Go get trash and burn it in your living room.
Yeah, I've seen hobos do it.
That is the and who am I to judge? I didn't want Katie to text you back. So I understand what she's getting at.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I'm glad everything is okay, and the power came back on relatively quick. I noticed I was up around 2, and I did see that it had come on, but I thought, you know what? I'm probably not going to go down there and
just
see if...
Bang on the door. Hey, out. Get out.
90 seconds. You 3. Out of here. I figured that might have been a touch rude.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Evicting us at 2 a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. What are you thankful for this year? Well, I'm thankful for my empty guest room in my basement. Says Kyle.
Now, I have a question for you regarding the Zach, and I'm glad you mentioned it, Steve. Mm-hmm. It's that time of year. Okay?
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Has there been any... Is there going to be, or in years past, or will there be, maybe a little... decoration contest? Because you kind of see that with people in the same neighborhood. You'll see like, hey, one house has a bunch of lights, so then the next house
does a little bit more.
They'll have a bunch of lights, and then an angel on the roof, and the next house will have 45
8 reindeer.
Yeah. Have you seen any of that? Because when I pulled in this morning, I saw your new neighbor, your newest, I think, the young couple that you haven't spoken to since you caught them off guard the first day they moved in.
Yeah.
And he had, I saw some...
He's got a nice setup.
Some lights on his railing. Icicle lights. Throw them in the trash. Grow up.
I agree. It's just lazy. It's lazy decorating.
They're awful. You're doing more offense to the holiday season than It's a Wonderful Life.
What is this, like 2003?
Yeah, for
Icicle
God's
lights?
sake.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, they still work. Do they? Go buy some C6s, some C9s, get some LEDs... Get rid of the icicles, okay?
You go LED, huh?
Steve, okay. I'm looking at saving on energy.
See, you got to. If you go LED though, it's got to be the soft white, because the bright white it just looks unnatural.
Well, with these, you don't have any unless. Well, I don't do a white light. I go. I prefer the multicolor.
Okay, very nice.
I've always preferred the multicolor, but your neighbor has gone icicles. But they got a nice little thing on their front walkway, little front.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anybody else on the Zach. And again, I'm typically not here at night.
I don't think anyone else on the Zach has lights.
You gonna?
Because you got the other young couple. Mm-hmm. I think that they have some decorations up, but I don't think they have lights.
Okay.
Then you got the new folks. Very nice setup. You got Grandma next to them. I've seen her 3 times in 2 years. You got the family next to them whose garage door is constantly open, and their basketball
driving you nuts.
And their basketball hoop has been laying on its side in their front yard for about 2 years. Next to them, you got Cindy, who is...
At least you're not keeping tabs, and you're upset about it.
No, not at all. Next to that is Cindy's house, which is no longer Cindy's house. Big announcement.
Oh, the widow's gone.
Yeah. The Cindy
the widow.
And her very living husband, Bruce.
The corpse of Bruce.
Bruce still alive.
Man, he had a good run, right?
Yeah.
Oh! Whoa! Breaking news.
Live from Steve and Kyle podcast headquarters, Steve's neighbor Cindy and her husband,
Dead.
very much alive,
Corpse.
have sold the house.
Gotta get a timer. I have
Nah.
Are we running this ramshackle of an operation over here that we have yet to even whatever.
No,
Whatever.
see, because when I hit the button, there's like there's like this little status bar, the little blue status bar. Maybe I'll just take a Sharpie and put like a little mark on the iPad screen when the post hits.
Boy, that's a wise idea.
This is the only thing this iPad gets used for. I mean, what else do I need?
So Cindy
has sold the house.
Cindy the widow is gone. Now, did you ever get details from her where she was headed? Was she going to a condo or?
No, I knew where they were going. They had bought a house in like 20 minutes from here. They bought a foreclosure and they have been fixing it up over the last year or two.
That is the age you typically do that.
I think it's I think it was like a condo foreclosure type thing. So, hadn't seen them. They had put their house on the market in September. And so, of course, as soon as we see the for sale sign, the first thing we do is go onto Zillow and look it up.
I think everybody does that, right?
Well, part of it is I've never been in their house, so I kind of want to see, like, what it looks
pictures
like.
And hey, is it modern? Is it updated? Is it not?
And of course, you want to see what it's listed for because that directly affects my home value.
Absolutely.
So it was up there for a while. I think it was listed for 45 or 50 days, and
not a good sign.
They had dropped it a considerable amount of money. And then I saw her. So we had seen people come and go and look at it, and they had an open house or two. And then I saw Cindy a week and a half ago. And I said, hey, congratulations. House is sold, because the sold sign was on there. And they were out just like doing some yard work. And she said, yeah, it took a while, but we ended up getting 3 offers. So I guess they lowered it enough where they got 3 offers, so you have to assume that it went for more than whatever that final listing price was. And she said that it was a young couple looking to start a family.
Oh, God.
Woo-hoo-hoo! My best friends are moving in next door.
Here we go again.
Can't wait.
So is this going to go like the last few have gone?
I already got a bottle of champagne waiting for them.
Where you bother someone as they pull in and have many things to do.
When that
Nick, come down here.
When that moving truck is backing into the driveway, I'm going to be out there with a box of chocolates in one hand, a bottle of champagne in the other. Welcome to the neighborhood.
As again, you see them as they're pulling in, frantically searching for the garage door opener. Shout it before you can get in there.
Hey, friends!
Oh, God. Come on. Why did they... Is this thing old? Why won't it close? Honey, go tell them you're sick.
Cough on them or something. We had actually, a couple weeks ago, we were putting up our Christmas lights just out on the front porch. Mm-hmm. And we were pretty sure that the house had sold at that point because this young couple pulled up, got out of their car, and they were taking pictures of the house, and they were like hugging each other on the front lawn, so you could tell it was like, this is our home. Oh, thank you so much. We're so happy. So but they were having a very nice moment, so I wasn't about to go down and be like, hey neighbor. Wow.
A first.
I showed some restraint for once.
A first.
I'm so desperate to be friends with people.
Hey! Come over here!
We got a fireplace!
No, I don't drink and we don't stay up late, but you should come over.
The lights are out by 8:30 every night.
The game? What game?
Oh, sports ball? Yeah, go team.
I thought Jeopardy was over at 7:30. You'll never see them again.
No.
How would it be depressing for you if this young couple moving in is, you see him out and about every day and it's, Detroit Lions jersey or a University of Michigan hat, flag flying in the
or
in front of their porch.
The house divided flag.
Yeah.
Wife is a Michigan fan and husband is a State fan.
Would that be like
no
for you?
Nope. No, I'd be totally fine with it.
Because at that point, your only opening line is, you like Jeeps?
No, because I think that I know enough. I know enough to fake my way through a sports conversation.
Sure.
Um,
You think you can make it? You think you can force a conversation for a minute or two before you might be found out?
Yeah, because it would be like, oh man, team's not looking good this year. Oh boy, those Lions, what the heck? What is going on there?
And then you slowly try to transition it to something else, so you don't have to start talking zone defense and
So you like V6s or V8s?
who's running the play calling and.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, so you haven't met them yet, but you said you've seen them.
Haven't. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we were outside putting up Christmas lights. It was pitch black outside. We saw a car pull up, and I just happened to look over. They were taking a picture of the house, and then they hugged each other on the front lawn. I said to Annette, I was like, looks like the house is sold, because that wouldn't be, I mean, what else would that be?
If you had to guess, and again, it was dark and everything, if you had to guess an age range. Younger than you?
Yeah, probably a little younger than us.
Okay, so probably, either early 30s, late 20s maybe.
Sure.
Looking to start. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
I'm excited for you. One of these is going to pan out.
I'm going to have a best friend. One of these days, after all these years of searching, I'm going to have a best friend.
You know what you got to do?
What?
You just make friends with someone else's family like me.
Yeah.
Got brother Mike.
Yep.
For God's sake, our sister made me cookies a month ago.
Yep.
Katie loved them.
That you loved?
Delicious.
She said.
Quote. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
Little work.
Yep. I'll eventually. I'll find a friend somewhere.
Just keep trying. Keep jogging over with cookies.
Hey! These are snickerdoodles!
Maybe, and hear me out here. You start a Zach newsletter.
I feel like...
So you get different colored paper, and, once every month or so,
Okay.
you print up some news around the Zach. And, you schedule a meetup that no one's going to go to. Not interested.
What can I call it? It's got to have a snappy name.
Oh, man.
Zach Attack? No.
Yeah, this month's Zach Attack will
that sounds too violent.
Will be, again, at my house. If anybody else is willing to offer up their place.
I just stand there at the front door with my Christmas sweater on and a cup of hot cocoa, like in my little reindeer mug.
Annette shouting
Where's
from...
everybody at?
Annette shouting from the living room. Is anyone coming this time? No.
I think they're just really busy.
At 6:50, you see every car pull out of their driveway in a real show to say, "Oh, we had plans. We got to go."
Guys?
You're waving. They're turning their headlights off so they hope you don't see them. The Zach newsletter. Listen, I'll help you even write it. I think we could draw some people in to this friendship scheme you're trying to run.
Zach Track.
Hey,
Tracking all the happenings on the Zach. Yeah.
The Zach Track. Get a little logo for it, like it's the word Zach Track on a railroad track.
Yes.
It's yeah. Oh man, you are gonna have nobody like you.
And then if we have people over, we'll have a tray of Zach snacks.
Uh-huh. What Zach snack do you want to bring this month?
Or if I'm feeling froggy and I want to say mean things, talk some Zach smack.
Yeah, it's like open mic night. Every other month you guys have Zach smack. This is the dumbest.
Uh-huh.
This is the dumbest.
Yeah, why don't we just end it?
Yeah, you're not hurting my feelings.
You doing, are we doing Fast Five or are we? All right.
We do. By the way, I know people get upset with that. You and I just spoke about this. When I just spoke about this, I mean right before we turn the microphones on. There's a plan coming to it's going to be a slight modification coming in the new year. We'll talk more about that as we get closer regarding the Fast Five.
Yes.
Fear not, it's not going away.
It's not going away.
No more than it already does when we seem to forget about it or get lost in what we're doing.
So at this point, you can no longer submit, you can no longer get in on the 4th annual Steve and Kyle podcast Cloak and Dagger non-denominational Winter Solstice gift exchange. But if you haven't received it already, within the next day or two, you're going to be getting the person that you have been randomly paired up with. Now, when I'm saying paired up with, that's kind of a it's not completely accurate because the person that you get is not the person that got you.
Right. Every name will be different. It's not like you'll be exchanging with the same person.
No. This is just the person that you are sending a gift to. So send those gifts out. Try to have them out ASAP. And if you could, send us a message just to let us know that you have indeed sent out the gift for that person. And also check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Steve and Kyle if you want to see the video of the awesome shirt that I got at wrestling.
Yeah, the roulette or the wheel spin to determine what merch you're going to buy, and then the picture next to it of Steve wearing his newest, most favorite shirt.
Yeah, again, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Steve and Kyle. And that's it. We'll talk to you next week.
Help spread love and feel the joy of giving back. During the 2024 Subaru Share the Love event at Berman Subaru of Chicago, Subaru will donate $250 to the charity of your choice for every new Subaru purchased or leased. The ASPCA, Make-A-Wish, Meals on Wheels, the National Park Foundation, or Friends of the Chicago River. Plus, we will give an additional $75 to Friends of the Chicago River. Go to SubaruChicago.com to learn more. Submit charity selection by 1/10/25. Promotion ends 1/2/25. See Subaru.com/share for details.
Hi, Chicago. The home of the original recliner now has a home in Lincoln Park, and we're loving it here. It's a lazy boy store with a new look and a fresh take on the comfort we've been crafting for almost 100 years. You know what else we love? A sale. We're taking 30% off recliners. Stop in for a look, take a seat, and stay for the savings at the all-new Lincoln Park Lazy Boy. Rock, swivel, recline, and get 30% off. Lazy Boy. Long live the lazy.
With Moonpig, you can personalize holiday cards with favorite family photos, special memories, or even that cute pic of your pet cat. Choose from a huge range of cards, ready to customize. Plus, we'll mail it for you. Visit Moonpig.com today.
Moonpig.com